Time now for the Trenders. Social media. This is where you can find us at facebook.com/edshow, twitter.com/edshow, and ed.msnbc.com. And, of course, you can find us on the radio Monday through Friday, Sirius XM Channel 127. You can get my podcast off the website at wegoted.com. Now, 2 years ago, there was no bigger trender than this comment from Rush Limbaugh. Limbaugh's vile comment targeted then Georgetown University student Sandra Fluke. It was a landmark moment in the ongoing Republican war on women. It changed the landscape in talk radio as advertisers ran from Limbaugh's hate speech and the whole genre itself. It also put Sandra Fluke on the map as a women's activist across America. Now, 2 years after Republicans tried to silence her from speaking out on women's issues, health issues, Sandra Fluke wants her voice to be heard in the California State House, and she joins us tonight here on The Ed Show. Sandra, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me.
You have been cast on the scene politically in this country. You've done a lot of activist work. Where do you go from here running for this position?
Well, I'm running for the state Senate because I want to give a voice to my constituents. I want to be able to stand up for their concerns around the environment. It's a very important issue in our coastal district, and we have fracking concerns happening there. I want to make sure that we're fighting for the kind of good jobs that you're always talking about, that you and I are both working on to ensure that especially my millennial generation has a future in the middle class and is not strapped down by student loan debt and the unaffordability of higher education. And of course, we're working on implementing the Affordable Care Act and making sure that we do that in a way that makes health care affordable for everyone.
Did Limbaugh change your life with that comment?
Well, he certainly changed some aspects of it. And, you know, the way I look at it is it's a microphone to talk about issues that have always been important to me. And that's what I continue to do, to continue to talk about how we need to fight human trafficking and a special issue in California, that we need to prevent domestic violence, that it's important that we stand up for living wage ordinances.
You were not allowed to testify in front of Darrell Iss's committee. Have we made any progress in this country on women's issues since then? That's been a long 2 years, and of course the Republicans deny that there is any kind of agenda against women.
Well, I think that everyone needs to be very clear that the 2012 elections did not end the attacks on women's reproductive rights and other aspects of gender equality. And in fact, many of those attacks are happening in state legislatures across the country. So while we spend a lot of time focusing on Congress, where there are clearly very problematic bills being introduced, we also need to be looking to our state legislatures where there's terrible damage being done to women's rights, to gay rights, to a whole host of social justice issues. But on the other hand, there's possibilities in legislatures like California to advance these fights, to move the country forward. And that's what I'm committed to doing in the state Senate.
When you look at pay in the workplace, okay, for equal pay, what's going to turn that around? What has to happen? Can it be done on a state level?
I believe so. There's a lot that we could do legislatively on that issue. On the federal level, we haven't seen progress in
No movement
decades.
at all. Yeah.
It's been decades since we updated legislation there. And you can tell that there are differences because different states have different levels. But even in California, we have a long way to go on fair pay, something else I'd like to work on.
Can you win?
Absolutely. We've gotten an incredible reaction since launching the campaign. We, of course, need everyone's support because this is a race in which I'm not the favorite insider political candidate who's endorsed by big business and special interests. So I hope that everyone who stood with me in 2012 will go to standwithsandra.org and stand with me now.
Well, do you think you're somewhat of a political target now? Because you've been on a national platform. The country knows who you are. You're not your average candidate in a state representative position. And it would seem to me that there are people working against, you know, what you advocate for and might want to silence your voice again.
You know, I'm comfortable. I'm fine if folks want to take me on personally. What's important to me is that I'm accomplishing what my constituents need. And if nobody's pushing back on that, then you're not really fighting for anything. So I'm pretty comfortable with the idea that I'm getting resistance. It means I'm creating change.
Your number one issue?
My number one issue is always going to be the equality and prosperity that my constituents need.
Well, that would be a lot of things.
That's why it's the number one issue.
Sandra, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate your
Thank you.
time. Thanks for stopping in tonight. There's a lot more coming up on the Ed Show. Stay tuned.